Hi, I'm Sherry Hayes with MomDelights.com. Welcome into my day. I'm the mom of 15. I've been homeschooling for like 32 years, and we're at the end of our homeschooling. So I only have 2 children today, but I hope that I can communicate some ways that we incorporate organic type learning in our day. So come along. I like to start the day with personal hygiene. That's what I call it. And so I like to keep everything in this little bag. This little bag holds my hair stuff, my makeup, everything I need. Right here is my Vaseline, and you know, this is my petroleum jelly that I use for everything. I have really dry skin, so that's why I have to use that. And in here, I wanted to show you my Revlon 16-hour lip stain. I guess it's lip stain. But anyway, it really lasts a long time, and I tell you what, it's worth it for me because I don't like to put on makeup in the middle of the day, but I like to have lips that you can see because I'm also a pale face. My skin's really super white. And yeah, so everything's in here. And this is my little tiny curling iron. I keep it in here, and I have some perfume, and also all my hair stuff's in here. And I have I really like this because it fits in here so well. It doesn't leak. I've used this a long time, and of course it's white porcelain. You know, when I go to the emergency room, they take me first. Anyway, so that is my personal hygiene bag. Oh, and now we're going to go on a walk. That's the next thing we like to do. We like to go on a walk, and we walk about 30 minutes in the morning. There's the beautiful sunshine and the sprinklers going, and here is my little Patience and our feet as we're walking. We thought that would be fun to show. So what we like to do on these walks is we talk about things. We talk about politics or history or the Bible, or if someone has a question about life or a problem they're facing, then we will walk together and we'll talk together. And it's about a half an hour. And you know, we try to choose a trek that is uphill the halfway. So we're actually getting a really good cardio workout. And so while we're doing this, we're doing all this talking, and it's just really a sweet time together. You know, that we're doing what the Bible says. The Bible says you teach them when you rise up, when you go along your way, that you're teaching your children and teaching them about the Lord, teaching them about life, about practical things. And that's what this time really is. When we're talking about organic homeschooling, we're talking about these times where we just take whatever time we have in our life and we teach our children. And this is why it's so effective and so efficient, is because we're taking all the little bits of time and we're using them to for their best value. Now it's my time with the Lord. This is my mommy's basket. I have all my little things that I carry around the house with me that I need to reference, or little tools I use during the day. This is a little Bible I found, and it's just the Bible. There are no references, concordances, so it's for reading mostly. And this is my Bible journal, and I keep a number of these. I go through these quite a lot, and I write down insights from the Lord, scriptures He gives me, words He gives me. I do like parts of sermons that I want to remember, parts of books that I write down, little insights and things that I like to write in here. And so sometimes I won't necessarily read the Bible. I'll read some verses and insights that I want to meditate on. I'll read those in here as my time with the Lord. I'll read this, and it's kind of like an instant devotional that I've compiled myself. I really recommend this. It's like it's like a scripture commonplace book. And Corrie ten Boom, actually, she kept one of these. I know because she has filled books with these things that she kept. So that's what this is for. Now I will do some reading. Let's see. I'm in 2nd Chronicles, and I've been reading about Ahaz, and I've been reading about Ahaz and Hezekiah and all those different things, and it's very fruitful. I like to read the Old Testament stories over and over again, and I ask God to give me insights, and it's just really amazing the things that He'll pull out of there for me to think about and consider. And I'll think about life application all the time from these, or connections with the New Testament when Jesus was talking, the different things he was referring to. And you really understand Jesus' sacrifice more when you understand how God was communicating with us in the Old Testament, the patriarchs and Moses and Israel and the judges, and also in the different books of their chronicles, the 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and the Chronicles, and Esther and Ruth, and then you have the prophets, and that kind of ties all in together. And the more you read the Bible over and over again, the more you start making those connections. And this is very, very important. I actually read this to myself. I read it to the girls in the morning and in the evening. And I tell you what, I must get in like at least an hour of Bible reading a day, and it's really good. I just need to, I think, work on meditating more. Where you sit and you just meditate and mull over God's word so that it's more life applicable. But I also listen to sermons during the day and stuff like that. So that also helps me. So, also my prayer list. Let's see. I do have a prayer list, and I have it here. I don't want to show it to you because, it's personal to our family, but I use that prayer list and I go through it every day. I'm not going to go through it for this video. It's a very personal time, but I put everybody's names on there and I go through it. Let's see. I have it on a sheet here. So, this is my list, and this is the prayer I pray for everyone on the list. And, I kind of got some of it from Eastern Orthodox prayers and added some things that God had me put in there, and just did that. So now next, I'm gonna put all my stuff away. Aren't I a good girl? Okay, so now I'm going to go through my planner page that I print planner pages, I make planner pages, but pretty much lately what I've been doing is just taking this notebook. And every day I have certain tasks I have to do every day. Bible, prayer, exercise, laundry, breakfast, time with my girls, cleaning, dinner prep, and business and homeschool things, check. And that's my language time. And time with my daughter, Patience, in the evening. So I write these things down and I kind of check them off as I go along because they're things I do every day. So I have this top part for that. And I'll write notes to myself beside each one, with specifics and stuff and reminders of things that I want to do in each area. And then I write all these notes in here. Like I'm writing notes to myself. Like for cleaning, I'm talking about the different focus area or something that I really want to tackle. And I've got all that. And the check thing, and doing Duolingo, and sometimes I watch a video, sometimes I will I have some word search puzzles for that. So homeschooling, you can see I'm doing day in the life for my biz stuff. And so on the back, this is where I usually put my journaling for the day. Things that have happened, things that we've accomplished, things we've done, or just my thoughts or feelings, whatever. I'll put that on the back. And I have a number of pages that I put in here where I've done that. And I decorate. You notice I decorated the page. And that's kind of like some of my mommy fun I allow myself to have is I decorate the page. And I have a number of pages that I've decorated different ways. Sometimes they'll use washi tape. Sometimes they'll use stickers. Sometimes like this, I just used a pink and yellow highlighter. This is something they were doing this summer that I made. And I'm reviewing it here because there's some things I want to sign in it. I made this like notebook, and it's focused on homemaking because that was our thrust this summer that I wanted to really get. I have 2 girls still that I'm homeschooling actively, and then another one kind of that comes in every once in a while, and I wanted to focus on homemaking skills and true femininity. And so this right here is The Wife, written by Washington Irving, and that's a really good story if you wanted to read it to your girls. It's really sweet. And I have little illustrations, some coloring pages. This I got from Dover, and it's about the weather. So anyway, there's lots of stuff in here that they were doing this summer. And here I'm going to make myself some tea. Yeah, so after that, I'm going to do a little breakfast. And I like to drink there's a very, very special tea I found. And if I run out of it, I'm always so sad. It is Sweet and Spicy Original from Good Earth, and it's caffeine free because I can't do caffeine. It makes me very ill. It's not just something that's okay. It makes me very, very ill. So I like herbal teas, and this one is just, it's like drinking a cinnamon roll. So, and I try to cut down on my sugars and stuff. So I do put sugar in this, but it's very little. This little thermal thing I'm using, for me it holds about 5 teacups full of tea. So I don't put very much sugar in. As you can see, I'm just putting a scant amount. And since this is really high in cinnamon, you don't really need a lot of sugar in it, which I really like. And so now that's the sugar. And so now I'm going to pour the hot water in. Yes, isn't this exciting stuff? When we pour hot water into, I don't know why I filmed this, but it's exciting. Yes, I'm making tea. So now I'm going to fill this up. And when I put the top on this, I gently rotate it back and forth. I, at one point, shook it really hard to distribute the sugar, and then the tea bag always breaks. And then I have a mess to drink. So I'm just very, very careful when I tilt my tea. Anyway. So now I'm going to, this is my trick. Okay, so I make this tea really, really hot, but I can't drink it that hot. So I'll pour it in a teacup so it'll cool slightly. So that way I always have warm tea, right? But it's not too hot. So sometimes if you just like have a regular teapot, the tea, it always gets cool. And there's my avocado toast and a boiled egg this morning. Oh, and also I wanted to show you can get these at Sam's Club. They're cheap and they really work well for me. Okay, so here's my daughter, and she is going to be eating a gluten-free pancake. Now, this is the result of this last year's study in gluten-free cooking for her, because she has to do gluten-free. And I said, well, for your science this year, we'll just study everything gluten-free. So she learned about all the different ins and outs of the different flours and the different additives and how each one works. She learned about the nutrition. She learned about the techniques, and that was her study. Now we're into the reading time. So I like to read aloud to my girls for about an hour every day. We start with the Bible, and right now we're in the book of Exodus. And a lot of times people get intimidated about reading the Bible to their kids because none of us feels like we're theologians, right? And we don't want to get anything wrong. But if you just sit and you just read and you're talking with your kids, and if you have a question, there's something you don't know, if you don't have references in your library, which are a lot of fun, you can just use your phone and just look up and see what commentaries there are on certain things, and that'll help you teach them. Now, our next book is The Fascinating Girl. It's by the same lady who did Fascinating Womanhood. And so we've been reading slowly through this, and the girls really like it. And it's very practical. It's like taking Titus 2 or Proverbs 31, and it's fleshing it out, and it's making it very practical. So we are reading through this, and we're discussing the different parts of it. And the girls really enjoy going over. This is a very special time for us every day when we take the time to go over the different parts of this book, and we get into all kinds of discussion. We just kind of go everywhere or anywhere we want with it. Now, our last book for a reading time this time is The Lord of the Rings, and we've been slowly working through this book. And I tried, whenever I read like a dramatic book like this, I try to do the different voices, and I've been doing it for so many years that as I'm reading, and if I start reading in a certain voice, the girls will go, Mom, that doesn't sound like that character, so I'll have to adjust it, and we'll all talk about how the accent should sound and stuff like that. So it's always fun. So yeah, that's our morning reading time. So now it's chores, and we're all over the house doing chores. Sometimes we clean as a team and we go through each room together. This day we're kind of splitting things up, and we're going to do some laundry, we're going to clean some floors, we're going to wash the dishes, get rid of leftovers. In the summertime, then we're watering and doing yard work, kind of everywhere all at once, and we're just trying to get our house clean and ready to go for the rest of the day. So she's going to be doing this folding here. I have another daughter. She's in the next room and she's doing vacuuming and stuff. I like to work in the kitchen in the morning. Oh, look, that rag needs to be thrown out. Do you have rags? We don't really rely on rags. On paper towels. We rely mostly on rags that we wash over and over. It doesn't cost as much to use the rags over and over. Every once in a while it is a little investment, but it really cuts down on the expenditure for paper toweling, right? And then we have to do that, all of us, don't we? Okay, so here we are, and this is when the girls are doing like their private study time. So she's been reading her Bible that she got, and our other daughter is working on her school at this point, and I think I'll show you a stack of what they're doing currently. So the older daughter, this is something her friend gave her. It's so sweet, isn't it pretty? From Cavallini Company, and it's just so cute. I had to show that. So anyway, this is the Bible that she was reading, and we found this at the Goodwill brand new, and it's a journaling Bible, and she really likes it. And this is her notebook that she's been working through. No. This is a workbook. This is her notebook that she's been working through. She is the queen of essays. She is so good at writing essays. She can organize her thoughts well. She's good at sentence structure. She's good at the whole thing. So she spends a lot, and she really likes to write them. So this is just filled with her writing. And this has actually been her textbook this summer for science and everything. Nourishing Traditions. This is so good. It's not politically correct. It doesn't follow the medical fads, but it's really good. It goes through all types of nutrition and gives recipes. And so this is what she writes essays on each chapter, each part that she goes through. This is the younger daughter. She's been using McGuffey's 5th alternate reader that I got from Dollar Homeschool, and I printed it and I bound it myself. And she wanted to use this because her older sister that she loves used it. And so this is one of the things, what is noble? And it talks about nobility. It's such a sweet, sweet book. All these things, if you're not using McGuffey's, you're really missing out on some great stuff. So she does the lesson book with that. This is her math book. Now, she's been through the old-fashioned arithmetic, and she's also done Saxon. But she just needed to have a really solid review before we go on either to algebra or something else. And this is The World Around You, Exploring the World Around You. This is done by Master Books, and it's an overview of life science, basically. And it's chock full of stuff, and it's very Christian in its worldview. And I made this little booklet to go with it. And basically what it is, it's got the questions part of the thing that I copied, and then I put this little notebooking section, and she did this one. Isn't it pretty? She really likes doing these notebooking pages. There's one of her favorites she wanted to show me. So this is her favorite that she's done with the cow, and it's still, isn't it pretty? She's such a good artist. I know. I don't do anything. People ask me, what do you do? I don't do anything. They just draw. Okay. Anyway, so, and she's got some interesting points, and the whole thing, basically all the chapters of the book we put in here. And then she does this on her own. She takes the lesson and she reads it and she answers the questions and she does the notebooking pages. See, here's the questions she's done here. And she just goes through that. And we have all these books that they have pretty much. I think we're only missing one. There's a series of exploring the world around you, exploring physics, exploring chemistry and all that. And they're mostly written by John Hudson Tyner. So we do those. And this is her Spencerian book. So she's working through Spencerian. And I think she's done this partly way before, but she's doing it again. Spencerian handwriting. You can get this from Mott Media. And they're in these beautiful booklets. They're gorgeous. But this is if you have someone that really struggles with formulating the letters and stuff, and it ends up that they make this beautiful, beautiful script. A number of our children actually write like that, better than me. And so now we're going to look at some other stuff they do. Now the rest of their day, they can do pretty much what they want to. She has wanted to learn the piano, so I'm teaching her. I had 6 years of piano, so I've been teaching her slowly. We also do guitar as well as a family. We'll sit around with 7 guitars sometimes and be doing guitar all at once. Now they're going on a bike ride, and they love to do this every day. Whenever they can, they get out together. So here we are, and here's another activity we're trying to. They had these flowers on their dresser, and they're trying to put them in some kind of a container. So she's learning how to take these apart and arrange them so they look really gorgeous. And so, and these are things we do, all kinds of this stuff all day long. And I consider it part of homeschooling, just living life, learning how to do things, whether it's woodworking, problem solving, working in the yard, sewing things, cooking things, dealing with neighbors, like, helping an elderly neighbor, helping your grandparents. Why not help your own family, right? And all these different things that we do throughout the day, they all count. In fact, this really is most of their education. I consider the academics to be part of it, but the main part is learning how to walk with God in all the different seasons and areas of life. And so here is the end result. And it turned out pretty good, I think. She did a really good job. And so I will leave you now with this beautiful part of our walk this morning. And you have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.